Alright boys, Nick with Lager Than Life. Today we've got an aged pale sour ale from Belgium. You know, the Belgians make good chocolate, they make good sour beers, and they've got some good footballers. I'm gonna leave it at that. 7.3% alcohol by volume. It's 100% photo beer, so if you know what that means, good on you. And a 5 out of 5 on the sour scale, so this is going to be one spicy tamale. I will be popping this beer in front of y'all. I'm always kind of nervous about this, you know, you're always just like, what if it's going to fly off and pop me in the eye? You just never fucking know. Oh, yeah, cover your eyes. Watch out, doggos. All's well. Alright, we got the Duvel glass, Belgian beer. Duvel meaning devil, but we're not here to talk about Duvel. This one's for the cameraman or the viewer, whatever you prefer. And then we've got the St. Bernardus glass, and that's going to be a video to come. So maybe you should hit that subscribe button, get notified when we review that one. It'll be quite the show. If you know anything about St. Bernardus, it's brewed by monks. But yeah, you can even see right here, Belgian family brewers. It's got the beautiful black, yellow, and red of Belgium. Not to be confused with the other great neighbor country, Germany. A little bit more for the camera, and why not? Why not? Alrighty. Let's have at it. Wow, you guys gotta get this. Just smelling it, it smells like you walked into a garden of very specific berries, almost. Like a very fruity, sour, dreamlike place. The mouthfeel is actually like really light for this sour beer. And I see why it's called sour. You know, it just hits your palate. Very sour. Very interesting. I'd highly recommend it. I can't even really describe it. It's I don't know. Cameraman, why don't you have a taste? And all right, cameraman, let me know your thoughts, mate.
All right, let's give this beer a try. Wow, that beer is very, very tart. The first time I had that beer, it didn't seem as tart as it does now. Honestly, it's a bit of a mind explosion.
Yeah.
It's a bit of like, I've never quite experienced something like that.
Right.
So it's very hard to place.
Very unique.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's...
When you smell it, the smell is quite pleasant. It smells extremely fresh.
Yeah.
It smells of like springtime, which is wonderful for right now. I think it's brightness is usually associated with a sight, but if a smell could be bright,
yeah,
I feel like it would be this.
Yeah, very bright, like pastel
man.
Neon colors. Like, it says it's been aged for 24 months in oak barrels. So I wonder how that plays up to it.
It's very, very tasty. It has a lot of citrus notes. There's a lot of citrus there. It's not quite a grapefruit, but not quite like lemony or limey either. It's a citrus flavor I've never tried, really.
But it's not bitter like those grapefruit IPAs.
No,
which is interesting.
Yeah, it's.
There's a lot of good spots you can get good beer in Belgium, especially if you're in Bruges.
Absolutely agree with that.
Yeah, I mean, I know I've been to the Rose Bar and they had a bunch of different kind of beers. These sours are really popular. Personally, this is probably the third or so time I've personally had them. Cameraman?
I think this is the second or third time I've had Petrus. I've had quite a few sour ales.
How's it rank compared to others?
It's pretty sour on the sour spectrum. I think on there it actually even has a sour meter right there where it says a 5 out of 5 on the sour scale. And I think it definitely shows up as that. It shows up as an extremely sour beer. Nice for sharing. Very nice
Yeah.
for pouring.
But
To
super
a large
drinkable.
bottle.
Super drinkable. I mean, even though it's like super sour, that's such a weird sound to hear. Like, especially if you're new to craft beer, a sour beer. Would you say that's like? Wouldn't recommend maybe a sour beer if you're new to craft beer. Like, if you're checking this
Yeah.
out and you're just like trying to explore and jump into the craft beer scene, this is something that maybe you've been doing this. You've tried the IPAs, and
Absolutely.
you know,
And what I would say is, I would say even for people out there who aren't beer fans, who want a different flavor when they try a beer,
yeah,
I think this would be perfect for them to give a shot.
yeah. Somebody that wants a
Because-
fruity sour.
Yeah. If you like something like people drink cold wine or wine slushies, and if you're a fan of sour things, I think it's worth a try, especially for someone who doesn't like the traditional beer. For beer aficionados, people who really have been explorative in their beer experiences, I think that this is a wonderful beer to give a shot to. The thing is, for me, with this beer for me has to be cold.
Yeah.
This beer cannot be near room temperature.
Now, what would you say is
I think, at least.
what would you say is the perfect outdoor setting to enjoy this beer in? Are you thinking, since it smells like springtime, this is a good springtime beer?
Yeah, I have to say so. I have to say it right as everything starts blossoming again,
Yeah.
especially in the places where it's been winter for quite a while. The snow's just melting.
Good picnic beer, maybe.
A fantastic picnic beer.
Yeah, take it out. Lady might
wonderful.
enjoy it even.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
There's quite a few people I could see really enjoy this beer, from people who love beer and people who aren't really into beer because it's not quite the normal beer taste, and I think that's extremely appealing to people. And in reality, I think that with sours, I found that the more that I drink them, the more that I really love them, and I think that maybe be the same for every style. IPA, stout, all those beers that originally to the new beer palate taste a little too extreme. Eventually, the more you drink them, the more you fall in love with them. And
All right.
It's a really wonderful experience.
So, out of 5, what do you give it?
I'll give it a 4 out of 5.
4 out of 5.
4 out of 5 for the style. I really like to, when I gauge beers, I tend to gauge beers based on their style. If I gave it an overall ranking of just like my favorite beers, I would still say between 3 and 4 for how I'm going to rank it like overall. But within its own style, absolutely 4.
Okay.
4 to 5.
Just because I'm not quite as fond on the style, the sourness, I prefer, maltier beer. I'm going to give it a 3.75 out of 5. But that's
Fair
Nick
rating.
and Dan with Lager Than Life. Boys, give us your suggestions. Have you tried Petrus? Let us know if you have. If you've tried another sour that you think we might enjoy better, we'll get it on the show. But we'd like to hear your feedback. But thanks for watching. Take care. Till next time. Cheers.